Kabir and his flatmate Ron, one of his best friends, are sitting in the living room watching the TV show Friends. They're watching the episode, the one with the thumb, where Joey's trying to learn his lines for an audition and Chandler is trying to help him. They both sit down with beers on the couch, and Ron looks at Kabir and goes, "Dude, if you were to go out with like one girl, hook up with one, and have the third one as like your wing woman, which one would you pick?" Kabir goes, as takes a sip of beer. "Obviously, date Rachel. I mean, just look at her elegance. That's literally what I want. I'd hook up with Monica. It would be pretty fun controlling her in bed, or finally someone else has just to tell her what to do. No, seriously, I mean, like, think about it. And Phoebe, she'd be my wing woman. It'll take her like 2 seconds to make me hook up with anyone." Ron goes, "Seriously?" Kabir goes, "Yeah, what about you? I bet you'll have like a threesome or some shit like that." Ron goes, "Four," as he takes a sip of beer. Kabir, "What?" Ron, "Foursome," as he smiles. Kabir, "Yep, there it is. That's the reason. That's the reason we're best friends." Kabir goes silent. Ron goes, "By the way, I forgot to ask you, how's your new play going on?" Kabir was lost in his thoughts. Ron and goes, "What?" Ron, "Your new play?" I asked, "How's it going?" Kabir, "Oh, oh right, oh yeah, oh that play, okay, yeah, yeah, I have to play a spoiled teenager. Ron goes, "So just basically yourself." Kabir flips him off and they both laugh. Kabir continues, "But there's one part I really don't like, man. I have to be like smoking in some parts of the play. I'm that spoiled, rebellious teenager that basically hates the world types. Those kinds. I've never even had a cigarette in my life, not even done shisha, let alone this. But I can't miss this opportunity, man. I'm finally the lead actor." Ron goes, "Dude, you're talking as if smoking is gonna stop you from acing that role, man." Kabir, "What?" Ron, "Yeah, you always do that. You do whatever it takes to ace a role. Smoking's nothing." Kabir, "It is, man. It's fucking shit for you. If I've never even smoked, how can I do this? It's gonna be affecting my acting so much. Like, I won't be able to even hold the cigarette properly, let alone pull off the roll, ace it. Like, it won't just seem natural." There was a pause for a minute. They both sip a beer and Ron goes, "Wait a minute. Didn't you just, like, starve yourself to look like an anorexic patient for your last role?" Kabir stares back in silence. Ron continues, "If you could, like, give up your favorite food, I mean, pretty much food, I mean, you were, like, breathing air only, for that, one minor part in that play, this is a shot as a lead actor to make it. I mean, there'll be some really good casting directors, even directors looking at it. You're a lead actor. They'll have all eyes will be on you. I mean, I'm sure you can fucking pretend to smoke a cigarette." Kabir goes, "Yeah, but, the authenticity won't look good. It's not, that art will be sacrificed." Ron goes, "Dude, it's just a play, man. It's not like you're gonna get an Oscar for it. Like, take it easy. It's just an opportunity." Kabir glares at him as if Ron had crossed the line. Ron goes, "Jeez, man, I'm just kidding. Relax." They both eat, and finally, after a while, Kabir stands up, looks at Ron and goes, "Give me a cigarette." Ron, confused, and goes, "What?" "Oh, you mean the play and stuff. So you want to try? Oh, okay, so you want to try it now. Alright, man, if you say so, might as well light one up. We just had dinner." Ron and Kabir sit down on the couch. Ron pulls out a pack of cigarettes, pulls one cigarette out, he hands it to him and lights it up. Ron goes, "You can just pretend. You really don't have to inhale it, mate. Like, look, watch me with it. Watch me." He puts it on the cigarette in his mouth and lights it up, takes a puff and exhales. They both end up smoking a cigarette each. Kabir coughs a bit and is told not to inhale. He tries again. Kabir, as he takes his first puff of cigarettes and starts, I'm tired of this shit, man. I feel so suffocated you can't even imagine. Kabir's friend in the play, called Johnny, goes, aren't you overreacting a little? Like the exams will be over in like a month and then you're free for like 3 months before you go off to your university. 3 months to sit on your ass and go scratch your balls and just do nothing with your life. Just put your head down and grind through this time period, man, like we all have to. Kabir, as he takes his puff and looks at Johnny, it's not about this 1 month, man, that I feel suffocated. Johnny asks, then what do you mean? As he takes another puff. Kabir, we've been in high school for about 4 years, man. 4 years. These last years have been something you can't even imagine. After a brief silence, Kabir goes, these last 2 years of school life, it's like we're put in one small room. Each one of us, you, me, Fraser, Scott, Andrew, all of us. It's like there's this one window with like sunlight pouring in through the room. That's the only source of light. And then as time goes by, the four walls of the room slowly close in on you and make the room smaller. And as the walls move, the windows keep getting so smaller, it just becomes darker in the room. It comes to a point where the walls cannot even come closer anymore and the window has been completely shut. Plus, we don't even have a clock or a watch, so we cannot keep track of time on when it will be over. You just have to suffer it out, hoping it will end someday. There's a long silence between the two as they smoke their cigarettes. Johnny goes, what if we're, given bigger rooms once the time is up? According to your metaphor that you've been talking about. Kabir looks at him, pauses, finishes cigarettes, and tells him, well, we'll have to wait and find out. Let's go back to revising for now. Kabir and Johnny finish the scene and their scene in the play and break character as they light off their cigarettes and walk backstage. Hello? As Kabir picks up his phone, his expression slowly changes and he becomes more attentive as if standing next to a more authoritative, respected person, similar to how employees stand up straight every morning when their manager or boss passes by them. Kabir continues, okay, uh-huh, uh-huh, okay, thank you very much. This appreciation means more than anything to me from someone like you. I've been idolizing you since ever. Yeah, sure, I'll be there by 9 a.m. sharp, exactly. Yeah, I know the address, yeah, I live like 3 tube stations away, it's okay, I'll take the tube and walk. Yeah, sure, thank you so much once again, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, cheers, have a nice day. As he cuts the call, Kabir breaks into a smile with joy in his eyes, as if he was anticipating already that he was the chosen one to win the lottery next week. He goes out for a walk outside his house. He lights up his and sees his friend light up a cigarette. As Kabir turns around and asks for another one with an excitement that he cannot hide, Ron, his best friend and his flatmate, looks at him. That face looks happier than you just shacked that girl ago. What happened? Kabir, I just got called for an audition from that director called Anurag Bhatt. Ron goes, what? How? I mean, that's amazing, but how? Kabir goes, apparently there were so many casting directors watching the play last night. The one where I was smoking as a teenager. Ron goes, fuck. Okay, so do you know your role? Like, what is it about? Like, are you an extra or something? Come on. Kabir goes, fuck you, man. Like, they didn't say anything yet, no. We'll just have to wait and find out tomorrow morning. Ron throws away his cigarette, gives a huge hug to Kabir and goes, fuck, man. I'm so happy and proud of you. Your perseverance is finally paying off. Kabir also lights up a cigarette, throws it off, and they both walk back in their house. As Kabir was invited for a meeting at the Phantom Productions, he's wearing a slightly oversized white shirt with a tie and a pair of blue trousers. As he's stopped by the security, he informs the security about his meeting and he is let in. He walks into the office and heads to the reception. Kabir, entering, walks up to the reception and goes, "Good morning. My name is Kabir D'Souza and I have a meeting with Mr. Anurag Bhatt around 9 pm. The receptionist goes, "Let me check." She calls and asks for the meeting and goes, "Please have a seat. He'll be with you shortly." Kabir is sitting on the couch. He picks up a magazine, flips through it, and keeps it away. In order to pass time, he keeps checking his watch as he is nervous and anxious at the same time. He has plenty of coffee. He has about 3 cups of coffee and becomes fidgety while he's seated. He finally takes a glance at the door and stands up straight up. The casting director is shown walking off, an established actor, by shaking his hand, hugging him, and smiling. And then a chuckle. The actor walks away as the receptionist in the background looks in awe, and the actor glances at Kabir but looks away unbothered. Kabir is also very starstruck. It's his first experience of coming across an actor he saw and was inspired by watching his movies. He sees him wearing a watch in his right hand. As soon as the actor walks away, Kabir switches his watch from the left hand to the right, and his starstruck moment is broken as soon as he hears his name. "Mr. Kabir?" the casting director goes. "Yes, sir," as Kabir walks towards him. The casting director ignores Kabir's handshake and tells him to follow him. As soon as Kabir enters the office, he is also awestruck by the grandness of it. His mouth is open slightly ajar. He is told to sit down by the director and the casting director sitting next to him. The director sitting opposite to him is just looking at Kabir, observing every moment, every gesture that Kabir does. After about 5 to 10 seconds, the casting director starts to say something, and the director gestures him to stay quiet, gives him an eye, as if he had done something wrong. The director goes to the casting director. "Go get the costume. Every single prop, even the gloves, the mouth guard, everything." "But sir, the movie needs only one boxer. Like, why would you?" As soon as the casting director says that, he's interrupted by, "Do as you're told, Mr. Vikram. The rest is my job. I'll do my job, you do yours." The casting director agrees. He leaves the office to get the stuff. As soon as the director looks at Kabir, he has a slight smirk on his face, as if he has found exactly what he was looking for. The casting director returns with the boxing shorts, gloves, inner boxer rolls, mouth guard, boxing shoes, and even socks. The director looks at Kabir and goes, "Go on, wear all of those, change, and come back. Take your time, by the way, you can go change over there," as he points towards the toilet. Kabir nervously gets up. The director goes, seeing that Kabir was nervous, "Relax, man. We both know why I invited you over here, so stop thinking too much. Do you want something to drink, by the way?" Kabir finally relaxes a bit and politely refuses. He goes to the toilet, changes, and comes back in his boxing attire. The director and the casting director look up surprisingly, and the director goes, "So quick?" Kabir nervously goes, "I used to be a boxer back in high school, so this is just a routine for me. I still box sometimes, so..." The director chuckles and goes, "That's it. Done." The casting director and Kabir look confused. The director looks at the casting director and goes, "We have got our leading man right here. Congratulations, Kabir. You're the boxer in my next film. You're the lead actor." Kabir couldn't believe what he had just heard. The casting director goes, "But sir, he's never faced a camera in his life. I mean, I know he's a good actor and stuff in the play, but films are completely different, and the film actually requires a more muscular and also leaner actor. It's too risky." The director goes, "That's not a problem. That can all be managed. He's already one of the finest actors in theatre, and he's already been a boxer, so it's going to be a deadly combination. Just get his weight checked, assign him a trainer, and get him fit within 2 weeks, until the final draft of the script is complete and the rest of the casting is completed." The casting director leaves the office to make calls. The director finally looks at Kabir and goes, "Kabir, there's a fine line that differentiates a movie from being good or great. That fine line is blurred out by focusing on the little details and meticulously following the preparation for the work. This movie, this specific movie, could be your raging bull, or even maybe even like Rocky. It could take you to a whole new level as an actor. But if you lose your focus in any way, this could end up being just like any other boxing film and will be put on shelf and you'll be forgotten. Even I won't be forgotten since I'm already established, but you will. This is your only chance. He pauses and the director continues. From now on, no junk food, no drinking, no smoking. I'm going to arrange the contract within 2 days. Come back to my office then. Kabir smiles and agrees and walks out of the office. Kabir walks towards the office of Phantom Productions. He puts out his last cigarette and he walks into the office. As he was walking to the office, the director, looking through his window from his office, could see that Kabir had just lit off his another cigarette. He was very disappointed. As Kabir enters the office and sits down, the director angrily stares at him, not saying a single word. He picks up a refreshing spray and sprays it across his room. Kabir could tell the director knew he was smoking again. Kabir finally starts. Sorry, sir. I promise I'll quit. I even told my friend, even if he won't smoke, until I finish. The director interrupts with, I don't care what your friend does. I want you to focus on your fitness. I've taken a massive risk by finalizing you. I hope you know that. Even the producers, they're skeptical now. They think to back out. They haven't yet, but I mean, they've already limited the budget of the entire film by almost 1/4 of its original. Can you imagine that? My film. Have you ever heard of that? And you cannot even give up cigarettes? You have 1 week, 7 days, and not a second more before you start training. Give up the cigarettes now. Kabir realized the gravity of the situation. The director gave him the contract regardless of that, and he signed it. Kabir walked out of the office, and as soon as he took his pack out, he was about to light another one until he realized what happened. He threw it away and walked away. Day 1, Tuesday. Kabir walks out of his house in the morning with his coffee. He sees his friends having a smoke and he's tempted. He looks at the cigarette and he looks at himself. Day 2, Wednesday. He's rehearsing for his play before he starts training and eventually filming for the movie. He sees his other friends and co-actors going out for a cigarette break. They ask him if he wants to join. Day 3, Thursday. He has a meal with his friends and then he walks out of the restaurant. They all light up a cigarette except him. He's offered again. Day 4, Friday. He's out with his friends in a bar. Kabir's having a drink with his friends as they all go out for a smoke break. They ask him again if he wants to. Day 5, Saturday. Kabir is seen sitting in his living room with a cigarette in his hand, watching the movie Prestige. The Prestige. He takes a puff and smokes out. The scene on the TV played is when Christian Bale is shown cutting off his fingers in order to keep his magic trick a secret and keep the show going successfully. Kabir finishes the movie as he finishes cigarettes and puts it away. Day 6, Sunday. Kabir is in the toilet, facing the mirror. As he brushes his teeth before going to bed, he sees himself in the mirror and stops brushing. He puts his 2 fingers out and he stares at them. Then he looks at himself in the mirror. The director, the producer, and Kabir are sitting in their office at the Phantom Productions. The director is staring at Kabir with a horror on his face. The physical trainer of Kabir is also sitting on the back couch behind Kabir, and the producer right next to Kabir. The director goes, "How are you gonna be able to train now?" Kabir is silent. The producer puts a hand on his shoulder and asks, Why? Why did you do that? Why would you? I mean, do you have any idea of the consequences of what you just did? There are hundreds of other ways to quit smoking. Even then, what's the guarantee you won't smoke again? How will you train? I mean, this is ridiculous. Producer goes quiet, and the director goes, I know you want this role badly. I know how passionate you are, but this is just stupid. What is even the difference? Kabir interrupts him. The director and producer look at him confused, and Kabir continues. For some, it's passion. For some, it's stupidity. It's all a matter of perspective, isn't it? From one angle, a digit can look like a 6, and from the opposite side, like a 9. But nobody's wrong. He pauses and continues. I'm telling you, I'm the perfect person for this role. You're not gonna get anyone better than me. And I'll do anything it takes to make this film a bloody cult classic. Anything. Absolutely anything. The director goes, But how will you train? How long until can you? Mr. John, tell us, how long will we have to wait? Mr. John, the trainer, goes, He can trace almost every other cardio exercise. He'll have to wait quite a few days, maybe weeks, before he starts training for his boxing scenes and lift weights. There's a brief silence. The producer breaks the silence and goes, Mr. Butt, how about we start with a portion of the film where he's just starting to get into boxing? I mean, that's part of the script, right? We can shoot all the non-boxing scenes first. Until that's over, he's already quite fit. So it won't make much of a difference when he wears clothes in the scenes for boxing that aren't shot. He can eventually start his training and we can film the boxing scenes where he doesn't have to wear the clothes and there's open body shots later on. The director understood the producer and nods his head, and he looks at Kabir and goes, Nobody can reverse what you've just done, but make sure you never repeat an act of this level ever again. There's more to life than just career. I admire your love of acting, but make sure this doesn't become an obsession. From now on, it's acting. Later on, it could be a person. I mean, who knows where your level of obsession goes to? How are you going to justify your act of stupidity in the name of love? Kabir and the trainer are gone. The producer and the director are sitting in the office talking. The producer goes, You know, this could actually be used as a marketing tool for the film. It's great. Obviously, we'll have to make up a story for what he just did, but we can't tell the truth. But it'll be great for this image, and the feel of the movie. The director calmly nods. Kabir finally returns his home after a long, tired day. He begins watching Friends on TV, and in the back, Ron, his best friend, enters the living room and sees Kabir. What up, faggot? As he goes towards the fridge to get some beer. He later opens the freezer in order to take out some frozen pizza to bake for dinner. As he's taking the pizza out, Ron comes across something that puts a horror on his face. He turns to Kabir with shock, where Kabir is seen watching an episode of Friends and as he laughs out loud. Ron looks into the freezer again and picks it up. He starts walking towards Kabir in horror and disbelief. He can't believe what he's just seen and he's picked up. He comes and stands beside Kabir. He extends his arm out to hand over something from the freezer towards Kabir. Kabir, looking at Ron, just turns and glances at him with a smile, as he asks him what happened with a gesture on his right hand. The two fingers on his hand are shown missing,